Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we're having coffee in my beautiful moon mug. And so appropriately so, this is the black moon. Of course, on a black moon, a new moon, we wouldn't see the moon at all. We don't see the moon because it is hidden behind the sun. And they are in alignment right now. The alignment comes with benefits for us, increased energy for creation and new creation. So then, then of course, this black moon, which is called the black moon because it is the second new moon of the month, is right at the end of the year and the beginning of the next one. So many people will do resolutions, and it's, we've spent maybe in many, well, I know in many cultures, making this day, even if it's a different date and time, but this new year date, a date of, okay, I'm going to change things. I'm going to take on some new habits. I'm going to get rid of old habits. I'm going to do this. And we go in with great gusto, but we don't recognize some of the shifts that need to take place to allow more of these desires to become our truth. One of the reasons is that when we go in to change something, we go in to do a resolution, it is usually kind of an opposite thing of way we've been living. And what we focus on is how quote unquote bad we've been, how much we haven't been living this thing that we believe will help us in some way. And so we go into this huge change focusing on the way things were and beating ourselves up and just focusing on the hardness of it rather than giving ourselves some grace, focusing on what we desire. I was listening to another reader this morning who I think is lovely. Her name is Amanda Ellis, and she was talking about shifts and changes coming and focusing on the diet that we have been taking in every area. For many of us, as she had said, this has been a time of comfort eating for her, childhood conditioning for many of us. And some of those things that we engage in out there can be addictions that we have worked on for a very long time, and we may have slipped back into a way of viewing ourselves, a way of walking in the world, a way of taking in, whether it's food or television or reading things that aren't healing for us, aren't peaceful for us, aren't empowering, but they are soothing as in a child, or that is what we're looking for, is that soothing energy that it brought as a child. So the first card that came up is from the beautiful Celtic Tree Oracle. And the tree that came up was the Newen Ash. It's kind of interesting. The ash, in a series of stories that I've been reading, has great power to influence the energy and the vitality of life, for the good or the bad. So the Newen Ash came up in reverse. So the main meaning is surrender and compassion are this tree's message as it teaches us about receptivity and intuition. Dive deep into your own inner wisdom. It is here that we meet the mystery. This is the place of enchantment and magic. Now, being reversed, it says perhaps you're struggling with an addiction that has gotten you into trouble and have hit your bottom. If you've been attempting to medicate your pain rather than face it, know that there are great riches awarded to those who are willing to finally deal with their own demons. It is time to think about a strategy for healing and to ask for help. None of us are meant to go it alone. So this is learning how to let go of, I'm sorry, I have a candle burning and it was melting onto something, which I'd put underneath it to melt it onto it, but it was the very edge. So letting go of an addiction, how is it you might have been trying to comfort yourself? And particularly this time of year after the holidays can be so difficult, so painful, so heavy for many people, the holidays and thereafter. And so we want to take a deep breath and just feel into, what would I like to grow into this year? Not what do I have to get rid of? What do I have to change? What would I like to grow into? This new moon energy is going to support you in whatever focus you're holding. So, a new focus for you. What would I like to grow into? I would like to grow into, you can list the things: less pain, more joy, more adventure, deeper connection, smoother relationships, more love, more fun, more laughter. What do you want more of? You want to grow into? What is that? That's what you want to focus on. And the ladybug is the next card that came up. This is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive. Remember, the last card had receptivity in its description too. To receive all good things in your life. Be willing to let these shifts, these things you really do desire, come in by keeping your focus on them. Not focusing on all that you feel must change, must go, must be different. Be open, willing, and ready to be given insights, awarenesses, guidances, tools to help you make this shift with greater ease, with greater joy, with greater peace. This year, one of the things that I'm growing into is greater focus, or a return to focus. There has been not the focus that I feel I want to take into the future so that I can be more effective in the world doing what I'm doing. But I also know that that is the ultimate of just being more effective. But it does start inwardly. It starts with caring for the vehicle that I have, which I haven't done real balancedly in the last 6 to 8 months. Part of it I've taken care of in one way, and the other part I've gone, whatever. That comfort eating, not eating healthfully, and knowing that it is not in the physical highest and best interest for me to continue doing that. It's okay that I did it, is what it is. Now it's a return to caring for what this body needs and allowing it to do what it can do with that diet. So that's for me. That's just one of them. And again, just little things, little changes. It doesn't have to be life altering. And you don't want it to be, because that makes it somewhat difficult to actually continue. If you try to do this total shift of your life, it's really impossible. The next one that came up was the Hanged Man, and that is the waiting place, the place where you felt like you've kind of been on hold, because you have. We've all been shifted. We've all been prompted to be making shifts that we are not even aware of, in ways that we are unsure of. And those who have been open, willing, and ready to be guided, to grow into, to step off the cliff like the fool and move out of the waiting place. Now, remember, we're told to give ourselves all good things in life. The waiting place doesn't allow for a lot of good to come in during the waiting, but it can be preparatory. So know that as you're focusing, you're going to probably be in the waiting place. And you want to keep focusing on the end point. What do you desire? And then the ways to make it your truth will come. Stay connected to your higher power, your spiritual self, your intuition. That's also part of what that new and ash is about. Tune into your intuition. Live more there and stay grounded. Both of them need to be done, because you can get pretty darn spacey if you don't keep yourself grounded in the process. The next, I love this card, the honeybee. They are such amazing creatures. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. And, we're talking about you. Compassion and forgiveness that you fell back into that habit that you thought you were done with. The compassion and forgiveness of being human, of not doing everything perfectly. I told you I had been doing these mandalas since, I don't know, the first part of September, I guess, or sometime in there, and just this need to do this. And Christmas evening, after the family left, it was wonderful, all of it. But it was 9 people in my house for 2 days, which is a very different energy than what we're used to. And it was very busy. And so it was like I sat down in my chair, I got out my book, and I realized at that moment I was discharging energy onto that page. I was just getting it out of me onto the page so I could just settle into what we were together, just my husband and I in our home. And that awareness came that I am discharging energy onto the page. Another lovely friend, Mayana, told me that you're grounding the energies in, you're bringing them in, and you're cementing them here. It was like, oh, okay. I just know that I want to do this, and it's like it's healing for me, and it's, again, because it's all of these things that I need to do, it's fun. And so, that's a tool that came to me. Nobody said, okay, now you sit down and you do mandalas every day. And sometimes I do 2 or 3 a day. It's just this thing. The other night, I had a group of light worker lady friends to dinner. And it is so fun when we get in group with, our connections that way and choose to do what we do, which is just totally, support one another, help grow one another, teach one another, give each other the insights we have. And one of my lovely friends said, oh my gosh, you're bringing in light language. I went, really? And she really reacts to energy and light language. And she was just twitching all over the place. It was like, well, who knew? I didn't know. I just knew I needed to do this and it felt good. And so I continue with them. The next card that came up was the Hierophant. And look at this. Look at all the eyes there. This is the seeing. Let's see what the Hierophant is about, which is why I left the book here. I knew I'd forget. Blessed be this land where angels walk. You are a channel for heavenly gifts, a conduit for our guides to communicate. A conduit. We are conduits here. That's what I always called myself. It's what I am now. It is you that has been chosen to see beyond the bounds of our human bodies and desires. You've chosen to see, and that's what all those eyes are. We have so many different ways to see beyond the bounds of humanness. You are the clarity for those who travel with clouded sight. Keep your eyes open. Don't feel nervous to deliver these message. You are the message bringer. And that can be in only the way you live, the way you walk in the world. Many of us have some very specific things we need to do. Others of us need to step into our way of being, because then we are influencing. We all need to be being, but some of us just need to stay at being and not effort at the doing and allowing. That's really kind of where I've been for the last few months, is just being. And the doer, the high energy, the get things done controlling woman that I was chafing at that in fear. I need to be doing more. I need to build this. I need to make this happen. I need to put this out. I need to do this. I need. And I just kept letting it. It's like, not now, not now. And then I beat myself up because I'm resisting putting this class out, this information. And the truth is that resistance is saying, not now. You need to wait a bit. And so I have. I viewed it as me being fearful rather than the resistance that it is, because I'm not fearful about what this class is going to do. It's a big subject. And it's a very weighty subject. And so, good morning, Diane. And so, I have thought long and hard, but there is resistance to putting it out. I believe that resistance will go soon. So be willing to be the light that you are in whatever way that is appropriate for you, that you are led to do, that you are hungry to do, that you desire to do. The next one is music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. Use music. Music is a huge tool in our vibrational journey, because we can really mess ourselves up if we're listening to music that is discordant and causing that kind of energy. And many of you who listen to that very uh, loud, discordant music, it's fueling the chaos that you're feeling inside. And then again, the other aspect is, for some of you, it may actually soothe that chaos, because it can resonate. It's almost like, for most of us, as children, Ritalin slowed us down. As an adult, sometimes it can slow us down, sometimes it can speed us up. Things work differently at different times in our lives, and for different people. So for me, that discordant energy would just make me incredibly uncomfortable. Good morning, Jean. And for others, that headbanging metal heavy music can actually align them inside. So withholding judgment, get back to music, whatever really brings you to peace. It can be high school music, you had some of that. It can be, for me, a lot of the time it's handpan. That is very soothing music for me. So allow that to be a tool in your arsenal for really allowing you to move forward. And then the last card, yes, that came up, is the Empress. Look at that beautiful, beautiful feminine energy. Look at the eyes. This is your internal wisdom, your connection to the divine here on earth. Let me read theirs, because it's always fun to see their perspective. And yeah, the Empress is the united mother of the tarot. She is unbending in her acceptance and vigorous tenderness. If we only held to light the vast difficulties women must endure, all our hearts would be devastated. After all that may have broken and bent her, the Empress continues to regenerate herself. That's what this is all about. This is a regeneration back to who we really are, who we probably still don't know in this lifetime fully. And we are exercising some faith and trust in ourselves, in the universe, in our guidance, that we are stepping back into that divine feminine power and wisdom. As a mother, she believes in the healing abilities of love. No matter the trials she has witnessed, she has faith in the youth that her love can change the path of the world. And accepting each other unconditionally, we can have a more loving existence. It's very interesting, because when I went into talking about music, and I started to talk about negatively, judgmentally, the heavy metal, the headbanging music, and received the guidance that, what, for some of you, that does bring you to a place of peace. It is not for me to decide. It is what truly happens within you that brings you to that. And then the Empress comes up with that motherly love, acceptance. I teach a lot about love, and just the small tool, the pure love and joy tool, because it is so powerful, because it is the highest frequency we can live in, the highest frequency we can choose to harness regularly and heal ourselves, our lives, our emotions, our physical bodies with. And that deep Christ love of unconditionality, the mother's love, choosing to keep that in our field is going to be one of the most powerful influences we have on this world. Like I said, for many of us, you're stepping into all you need to do is be who you are. You don't have to follow any blueprint that is not like velvet to you. If it fits, it's smooth, it's comfortable, is luxurious, you love it, go for it. If it chafes, if it's prickly, if it's difficult, you keep trying to mold yourself into something other than you are, let it go. And so a pretty easy message, but a powerful new moon message. I invite you today at some point to write down in detail what you desire to live this next year, how you want to co-create, what you would like to bring into the world. Make it very personal. This is about you, because when you do your work, then you benefit the world. I can't do anyone else's work. Good morning, Tanya DeYoung Morgan. I had not seen you here before. Thank you for joining us. So what is it you want moving forward? And be willing, be open, be ready to receive the guidance. Give that offer up to your power team every day, every morning, every evening before you go to bed. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me. They're not going to move us around the chessboard, but they will tap us on the shoulder to help us see and help us receive, just in normal conversation, insights and guidance that the giver may not have any understanding they're even giving. And listening to you very intensely. Good morning, Joe. Well, hello, Kitty. Um, Welcome. I don't get many cat watchers that I'm aware of anyway. So we're moving today through a hugely powerful time of positive creation if we choose to focus on that. And you have a choice in how this world begins to unfold for you more and more by what you're focusing on. What do you keep sharing in the world? Do you keep sharing what is difficult and what is damaged and what is heavy? Or do you share more of what is light, what is good, what is growth producing? We are going to always be what we are in the world. So it is the being in us that we get to shift with whatever we choose to focus on and bring to our existence here. We are the co-authors, the co-creators. We have that power. So get with your God creator. The Christ energy has come in big for me the last couple months. And at first I felt very sad because as I walked away from religion, I no longer talked to Christ. I continued to talk to God, uh, not a whole lot other than to thank God for everything I had, because that's always been a reality that I've understood. The gift, the love, the amazingness that I've been given in this lifetime. So I thanked God for many years. And it's only recently that I have come back to speaking with Christ and the Christ consciousness, way more than the Christian religion understands, brings forward. It is a powerful energy of love, of awareness, of enlightenment, of awakening that we can step into. And Christ has really made their presence known to me the last few months, that they have been with me always, but it is time for us to work more actively together. And I'm really excited about that, with what that looks like. So I wish for you this coming year. I will talk to you on New Year's Day. I'm doing that, and I'm doing Wowie, and then I'm going to a drumming circle all on New Year's Day. That is part of my intention to be more connected in group. Good morning, Hasham and Debbie, uh, and reach out more. Yeah, that is what I intend for the new year. And focus. That's my word for this year going forward. Ask your power team, is there a word that would be good for me to focus on in my highest and best good? What will I focus on? What word is going to be the thing that I get to work with in this coming year to create more of what I desire and less of what I don't? Because remember, what you desire desires you. Thank you so much for joining me this new moon, December 30th, 2024. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.